The following program is produced by the Tech Talk Radio Network.
Hey, Bill Nye, the science guy here. Whenever I am listening to the radio, especially Tech Talk Radio, it's just such a party.
Welcome to another episode of Tech Talk Radio. I'm Andy Taylor.
I'm Shawn DeWeird.
I am so glad that you were able to get in on the show, considering how busy you are.
Yeah, it's graduation season, right? So the semester's wrapped up. Sports are over. We're about to jam in 20 plus different graduations on campus this weekend. Right. So it's going to be wild.
So are you thinking about taking a vacation like once this is all done? Graduation comes up, or
yeah. So we always go camping for Memorial Day weekend, which we talked about pre-show. I got some little tips and tricks for some new battery stuff that I got for my camper this summer. We are going up to the lake. You know, like my wife's family's trip every year. We go to the Upper Peninsula of Michigan.
Kind of humid this time of year. Does it get a little humid?
Not that bad.
No,
I mean it's Michigan. I don't really know how to explain it. But it's not like the South where it's like 95% humidity all the time, right?
Oh yeah.
There'll be days where it gets that humid, but it's the weather along the Lake Michigan is really nice.
Right.
So, yeah, we're gonna get some time to travel in at least, but just until graduation, man, it's been busy.
You did something this past weekend that I thought was actually pretty cool.
Yeah, past weekend, the University of Notre Dame hosts the Fish-Off National Chamber Music Society, the National Chamber Music Association competition every year, and it brings students from all over the world at a senior level, so that's like grad students, college students, etc., and then juniors, which is like 12 to 18. And it's 2-day competition. It's a multiple day competition, but there's the semifinals and then the finals. We as Notre Dame Studios produce and direct the last 2 days of the competition.
Right.
So I was the technical director and director for that. And on Saturday, it was 11 and a half hours of live music.
11 and a half. Now,
yeah, I think there were 25 groups.
You're streaming this live over the campus, like closed circuit television?
No, it's to their YouTube page.
Oh, wow. On YouTube. Was there any way to get metrics back to see, hey, people are watching this? Or because that's always the tough part about live.
I don't know what the live metrics were, but good. I mean, I don't know. I'd have to look at the metrics. I don't really pay attention to that kind of stuff, I guess. But it's a worldwide international competition.
Oh, wow.
And so I think the group that won was a string quartet from Juilliard.
Oh, wow.
So,
yeah.
I mean, it's 2 days of probably some of the best chamber music you'll hear in this setting at that level.
Now it's kind of cool because you do enjoy that music as I do as well. So like, it wasn't anything you didn't like. Like if you didn't like country music and it was a country music thing, that would be rough.
Yeah. So, I mean, some of the people that have done it in the past have been just like, it's, like one of the other engineers last year, he doesn't really care for classical music. So he's just kind of like, I have to sit here and engineer the show, and I just sit here and play solitaire or something on my phone, right? So I got to pop in, and I actually got to TD direct this one. It's great. I'm going to give Andy the links. He can put the two pages up there. The last day, I'll just put the last day. There was 7.5 hours or almost 8 hours of content. So
and people go on there and they could watch it. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, watch it, and then you kind of get an idea of what Fish-Off is, and if you're inclined, you can donate to Fish-Off. It's a nonprofit, and they support international music, and it's a really incredible international music competition that is hosted here in South Bend. It's been here for like 50-something years.
You know what? I always wonder though, and we've run up against this, and I wonder how that works with classical music, because we have done, where you have maybe a song in the background. I even shot a video once at the Oral Valley Country Club, and the speakers were playing music outside. And I got flagged by YouTube for copyright infringement because of the music that was playing over the speakers. I appealed it and they okayed it. They let it go. But how does a concert venue on YouTube streaming, do they get by the rights?
If I remember correctly, it has to do something with the music groups that they licensed it through. They got the rights to stream it because they're a nonprofit. I'm sure there has something to do involved. But yeah, it was incredible. I mean, like I said, some of some of the most incredible, and some of these kids are 12 to 18 years old.
Oh, wow.
Because there's a junior division and then there's a senior division, which senior division is, I think, 18 to like college age students, so
Right.
mid 20s. The group that won, so it ends up, so there's two different groups. There's a string group and a wind ensemble group. So like think like saxophones and horns
Right.
and things, or just strings like cello, violin, bass, etc. And then they compete, and then there's gold medal winners in each category. So a gold medal strings and a gold medal wins, and then those two compete for a grand prize. That grand prize includes like a residency in Europe where they play,
wow.
and they travel around Europe and play, and it's a very prestigious competition.
Right. And it's great for the kids because it's a love of music, which, they can't go wrong with that. That's really cool. And they're playing an instrument as well. But yeah, we'll put the links up on our blog if you want to check that out at blog.techtalkradio.com. A lot has happened in the world of tech the last week. One of the things that I wanted to talk about last week for Mother's Day, I thought was interesting because, we call you the wise guy, Shawn, because generally, you're the one who introduced us to Wise. When Wise first came around, you said, hey, you guys got to check out these Wise cameras. They're a security camera that is relatively inexpensive and very easy to use. And they kept evolving and putting out more and more product that was like different and good. But they ran an ad for Mother's Day to give mom the gift she'll love. It was a high-tech vacuum.
Yeah, I've seen, it's not the first tech company to do something like that. It's just to stir up. People are going to post about, oh, look how terrible this ad is, but it's just generating positive revenue for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit tacky. I think Caitlin would be upset if I got her a vacuum for Mother's Day. I got her tickets to go see Wicked.
That's good. Wicked the musical or the movie?
Yeah, the Wicked the musical is playing in Indy. Is the Broadway tour is coming through Indy in July. So I got Caitlin and her sister tickets to go see it.
Did she like the movie?
Oh yeah, she loved Wicked when it was on Broadway and back in the mid 2000s and all that fun stuff. So
well, I know that coming up next month, they're going to be showing Wicked again in the theaters, the original Wicked in the movie theaters. But the reason they want people to go is because it will be the unveiling of the trailer for the next part of Wicked.
Part two, yeah.
So it's kind of weird. For those who don't know, they put the movie out. It's a two-parter, kind of like what they did with this newest Mission Impossible film, which is going to be out. But it's a two-parter. So you watched it, and then people said they cried at the end of it, and now they're going to go see it.
It's incredible. It's an incrable movie.
I never saw it.
It's an incredible show. It's
yeah.
incredible. Yeah. The movie and the show are incredible. I've not seen the live Broadway show. I have only seen the movie.
Right.
Caitlin has gone and seen it on Broadway, and she saw it when it was in Lansing and a couple other places. She's seen it multiple times, but it's totally worth going and seeing. And it's just a good show. Another Wise note though is about 2 months ago, I got a survey from Wise, kind of detailing: do you want or would you use RTSP native on the camera? So those who aren't familiar with RTSP, it's a built-in streaming platform that you can then pull in, from like VLC, OBS, etc., and basically live stream the image from the camera. You can then put that into your own recording system and record locally into your system. And they kind of hinted at maybe, well, they were going to maybe charge for it, or if it was included in Cam Plus, that kind of stuff. Well, they actually put out a actual public survey now this past week, asking for more feedback on whether or not they would want RTSP.
Right.
Because a lot of these other lower cost camera platforms are already including RTSP out of the box, which gives more flexibility. Because the big bummer about Wise is that it's all cloud-based.
Right.
Except for recording locally to the SD card. So if you want to view it on the app, or if you want to view it while you're away from your home, it all has to go to the cloud.
All right. So if you, Shawn, if you have one of these Wise cameras and you have a TF card that's in there, an SD card that's in the slot for it, but you don't pay for the monthly service to Wise, can you still watch video that's been triggered via a connection?
So you can't watch them you can't connect to it. You can't if you don't pay for their subscription cost. You wouldn't be able to view it on the app when you're not at home on your Wi-Fi. You can then view locally the local storage when you're on your own network. You can view so you can, if you had a VPN, I'm sure you can do it that way too. But there's nothing stopping you from just recording to the SD card. Now, what I would recommend if you're getting into Wise and you want to buy more than 5 or 6 cameras, just pay for the Cam Plus Unlimited, which is $99 a year, and you get to subscribe to any number of cameras to the Cam Plus platform.
Oh, really?
Now they have other features, Cam Wise monitoring, basically like auto police calling, and I've had just great success with just the Cam Plus Unlimited, which is $99 a year. I think I have 8 cameras.
Would that also cover the doorbell? Because they have a Wise doorbell as well.
It covers the doorbell. Yeah, it covers any of their cameras that can be subscribed to the Cam Plus platform. So I like them. I have their 2 outdoor cameras. I take those when I travel because you can hotspot those, and I just hotspot them to my phone, and leave. When my phone's in the camper, I can leave it on, and it'll trigger me if there's motion on it inside my camper. I can do time lapses with them, things like that. So I like their outdoor cameras too. But
would you say it's pretty important to have that Cam Plus service? Because if somebody was to come to a business late at night and they've got the Wise cameras, and they drive up and they don't have that service, and they steal the camera, then that's it. You're not going to see basically maybe a screenshot, and that's about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of up to, if you're serious about doing security, you can't skimp. You got to pay. I mean, it's just the nature of it. And that's why a lot of people are going to, but again, a lot of the ones that offer PoE power or the ability to do RTSP out of the box are a little bit more expensive. So, I mean, you're paying for what you get, and a lot of people forget that. And
the quality's not too bad on those Wise cameras. It's really not.
No, it's not. I mean, I have almost every version of the cameras. I've got the version 1, which I don't even have plugged in anymore because it's just literally, they say it is such a security risk on the first firmware version. You don't even want to plug it in anymore. I have the version 2, their version 3 Pro, the version 4, and then they went to some like OG camera. They haven't really gone beyond then they kind of added some different colors, and they added a doorbell Pro, some PTZ cameras, a couple of those. And
I've had a lot of fun with camera because some people will say, I don't want a camera in my house. I don't want a camera to do this. I don't want any kind, of, they think privacy, but it's the peace of mind when you have it, when it's, whether it be in the backyard, it'd be in the front, on the doorbell, over the garage, in the garage, just because that split second, when you get that notification, if somebody breaks in to your home, that gives you the opportunity to check it, contact authorities if they're not automatically contacted. Some of the services will do that, and have them come out and do what they need to do. And if you didn't have that, then they have free reign, and that makes it pretty nice. I'll tell you what I like is my recent purchase of the bird feeder. We talked about that last week from a company called Evergreen, and I have been having so much fun with this. Originally, I had it on top of a chimenea that's out in the backyard, and birds would kind of find it. It was under the tree. And when I decided it was a little windy that day, I moved it to the top of the jacuzzi. So we got a jacuzzi. It's got a jacuzzi cover on it. I put it there. It's been nonstop to the point where birds are they're eating a full bag within 3 days. And it's been kind of cool. But the quality of the camera has been great. And I don't pay an extra. I don't pay the AI fee for it, which I may just do. But the AI feature will tell you what kind of bird it is, how often that bird visits. It can actually identify that bird, even give the bird a name. But I can see, okay, that's that bird that keeps coming by. I can actually see it. And it's been a lot of fun to capture that on the segment that's available on our website right now. I actually included, so we did the Fox 11 segment, but we didn't have footage. I have put that footage into the segment so you could see it. And it's actually really cool. So again, it's totally worth the $99. If you want to pay the AI, I think it's $9 a month for the service, but I don't have to. I just got the app. It's connected to my home network, and I get a notification on my phone or on the app, and it will just tell me, yeah, there's a bird there, and I can go look at it and watch them. And yeah, it's a lot of fun.
I know some people like to live stream theirs.
Yeah, I haven't thought about that. I guess that would be cool, right?
Yeah.
You'd get a lot of people that pop in and see it. Go, there's that bird. It was cute because quails are like, they've got an attitude because I hadn't filled the food. I was here at the radio station, and they were upset. They were actually trying to break the plexiglass that is on the front of the camera so they could get to some food that maybe was behind there that hadn't come out yet. And I thought that was pretty funny. You see the little attitudes in the birds because they're hungry. So, yeah, if you want to find that, check out, you'll find the link to Evergreen. And I got this one at Costco. And again, it was like $99 on sale, and it's a lot of fun. Been having a good time with it. The only downside to it, and I'm going to have to build some kind of a platform that is away because the jacuzzi is kind of low to the ground. It's got a wide area. They're very messy, the birds. But, of course, one night, my camera at 3 a.m. caught a mouse, a little field mouse that was also trying to eat there. And so when you see those, you suddenly go, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want it to attract mice and rats. It's going to. But if you put it into an area where you don't, if you have squirrels, that could be a problem. To have this 5-7-9 rule, I would say, yeah, do that. All right, going camping. I know you're going to be doing that soon. You showed me something a little while ago regarding battery power, which kind of spun my head a little because is this a new system?
Yeah, I got to grab it. 1 second.
All right. So it's something like brand new. He showed me. I said, what the heck is that? It's what kind of battery is this?
So it's a 12-volt battery, just like you would find in your car or in a camper.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a new chemical format, right? So you have lead acid batteries, which is your lead acid plates and the chemicals, and it generates the reaction. So, and then you have lithium ion or AMG batteries. Mm-hmm. So this is a lithium iron phosphate battery. So LiFePO4.
Oh, wow.
LiFePO4 Plus. 12.8 volts. But it's just a better chemical structure for drawing and better life span, better charge cycles, better amp hours, better, just overall better, just better. Lighter.
Oh, it is lighter? That looks pretty heavy.
Yeah. I mean, it's not light, but it's lighter than a lead acid battery of this size.
Right.
But a lot of people, I like to research stuff that I buy. I will go down every rabbit hole, finding every little detail about things when I buy it.
Do you read reviews?
I do. I read reviews. I read reviews, web articles, etc. And what a lot of people forget is if you have existing solar on your camper.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a 190 watt solar panel on the camper. I've got an additional 200 watt panel here behind me that I'm going to put on.
Right.
And put them in parallel so that I can get the extra wattage at the same voltage. A lot of people forget when you move battery chemical formats, so from lead acid to AMG or to lithium iron phosphate, they require different voltage properties when they charge.
Oh.
They require different components, whether it's smart charging, whether it's deep cycle charging, there's a lot of factors that go into it. So if you have a AMG battery in your camper and you're like, great, I'm going to buy a lithium iron phosphate battery, I'm just going to toss it in. It's not going to destroy the battery. It's just not going to charge it properly because AMG batteries charge at a different nominal voltage than lithium iron phosphate batteries. They require different care when they're charging. So I had to upgrade my solar controller. So I have the solar controller. So when the solar panels come in, it goes to a solar controller. Takes in I think like 23 volts at bright sunlight, 23 volts coming out of the solar panel at full bright. Well, that's got to get controlled and reduced to the voltage needed to charge the battery. So that goes to the solar controller. So that handles the DC to DC part of it from the solar panel to the battery.
Oh, wow.
Well, then you also have to get the AC to DC charging part of it. So when you're plugged into shore power, your AC voltage is coming in at 120. 120.
Right.
And then it's got to get reduced to whatever voltage you need for your for your battery. Well, so I have to buy. I'm waiting for it to come in basically a new entire breaker box for my camper that will allow it to have the proper circuitry in there to manage the lithium iron phosphate batteries. So I've got a little bit of work to upgrade. We took the camper out a couple weekends ago, and I kept the AMG set up in there because I was like, oh, I needed this extra piece. I didn't have time to get it. It didn't come in time. So now I'm waiting. But all in told, I'll be able to I have a 100 amp hour battery.
Right.
Currently. I'm going to get another one. It's one of those things where you're like, oh, this is a good deal. It was right before the tariffs were going to kick in. And I was like, ooh, it's great. It's like just under $400 for this 100 amp hour battery. I bought it.
Right.
Well, like 2 days ago, I get an email saying, here's our new 200 amp hour battery for $569. And I'm like, why? It's like, so.
Always happens. Yeah.
But what I'm going to do is once I get the system in place, I will just get another 100 amp hour battery, put them in parallel, get double my storage. And then just ties in perfectly with the solar panel and the power and stuff.
So say you go camping, Shawn, and you park, you find the parking spot, you don't plug in somewhere, you've got battery, you've got the solar panels, and you want to watch maybe a movie, it's late at night, listen to music. Do you have enough to run all night on something like this?
Yeah. So using the AMG battery that we currently have in, we can charge all of our devices overnight using just the DC. There is an inverter built there. I do have an inverter, a sine wave inverter, so it will take the DC voltage and basically transform it up to 120 volt AC. We don't need it,
right?
But if just watching the TV or charging our devices, we'll get 2 days out of the battery.
That's pretty good
with the solar with a medium coverage solar panel. Most times when you go camping, you're hoping to be parked in shade. So you keep it cool, right? So you're hoping that when you're traveling or when the unit is sitting, when you're traveling or when you're driving, it'll be charging because you're mostly direct sunlight when you're driving. But when you're camping, like where we go camping, it's usually you're getting very broken sunlight. It'll still get decent voltage, but it's not going to keep you topped off if you're still using it. So we supplement with a gas generator.
All right, so I'm wondering, you're going to go on this camping trip. Have you done it yet? Because a lot of campers that I see that take the I-10 through Tucson and the I-19 through Green Valley, I'm seeing a lot of these campers and RVs with the Insta360 on top of it. Have you been contemplating maybe doing something like that? I believe GoPro has just come out with their own 360-degree camera system as well. But have you been thinking about that?
Yeah, GoPro has their Max camera.
Yeah, that's it.
I'm not a content creator.
Mm-hmm.
I like doing time lapses.
Right.
I like doing the star photography, the long exposures and stuff. I have no interest in posting the.
Right.
I don't have time to edit that stuff. It's a cool concept, and I get it. Like everybody's trying to be an influencer on everything they do, and they want to record every little itty bitty piece.
Right,
of
right.
I'm over here shooting Polaroids and 35 millimeter film, and that's what I want to do. Like that's the stuff that I'm loving doing. Because I'll during our break, I'll go grab the Polaroids I took when we went camping this past weekend.
Well, speaking of that, we do have to take a break. We come back. We do have some listener questions. We got more news, too, and something brand new that I would love to get my hands on when we come back. I'm Andy Taylor.
I'm Shawn Dewar. Find us on the web at TechtalkRadio.com. We'll talk to you in a bit.
And now, back to Tech Talk Radio.
So we were talking about, before the break, about the Insta360, which is a device that you could put on. You might see motorcycle helmets with them, or motorcyclists, or RVs, cars, and they put them on top, and it gives a 360 view of what it captures. Now, on one hand, and Shawn, I don't know, we might be a little different on this. I look at it as a security measure. That's why we have dash cams, and now we have dash cams that are rear facing. Apparently, and I'm trying to get my hands on one. Cobra's got one that is capturing from 3 different angles. So it captures it from both sides, front and back. So that way, if you're driving and you get hit from the side, there's video of that. And that can be good in an insurance situation or something like that. Insta360s, yeah, like you said, a lot of the influencers are posting the videos up there, but it could also be a security thing. And that's one of the things they've added to the brand new DJI Mavic Pro 4.
Yeah, I was just looking at the specs.
It has 3 cameras utilizing that same kind of 360-degree rotating gimbal for footage that can tilt, roll, and do what they say is true vertical filming. So if your drone is going up or down, I saw footage once of a drone hitting a smokestack going down the smokestack, which was pretty darn amazing.
Yeah, I mean, you get the FPV drones, the guys that fly those, they're nuts.
Yeah, it had.
But yeah, so the Mavic 4 Pro, it's on sale, but not technically in the U.S.
There's only, I think, two
retailers have it.
BH Photo is one of them.
Yep, Adorama and B&H.
Yeah, and
so it's subject to the 30% tariff, so it's pricey. May 13th was the global launch, so a couple days ago.
Right.
They have no technical U.S. market release.
Nope. They didn't even send the Mavic Pro 4 to any U.S. Reviewers.
Yep.
Nobody. Yeah.
Yeah. So the Mavic 4 Pro comes with the new 100 megapixel Hasselblad camera.
Hasselblad? Really? Wow. That's pretty amazing.
Paired with a 48 megapixel telephoto with a 70 millimeter focal length and a 50 megapixel long telephoto with a focal length of 168 millimeter.
Oh, man.
So you've got quite the range there. There's also what Andy was talking about, the infinity gimbal that gives 360 degrees of rotation, allowing for better vertical shots.
Right.
6K, 60 frame per second HDR.
Wow.
On the main camera. And 4K 60 FPS on all 3 elements. So,
well, I will tell you, because I have the Mavic 3 Pro, and I really do love it. I mean, the quality of the video is great. I put it up in a thunderstorm, a lightning storm, because we get monsoon season here, and it captured
that's risky.
It probably was a little. It was off of the distance, but it captured some great video. Not that I'm saying you should do that, but it captured some great video. But the problem with this is, again, going to be cost. I saw the pricing. Like, if you want the full setup, it's going to be somewhere around $4,000. All the way, like, you want everything.
The retailers have it up for sale. Let's see what B&H has it for. Basically, the camera plus the controller with the screen, $2,700. The Fly More combo, which is the camera, the case, the controller, 2 intelligent play batteries. $3,500.
Right.
And the creator combo, which looks like it's got internal storage, 2 batteries, controller, fast charging. That's for almost $5,000.
Wow. Now the other thing about it's similar to the 3, which gets almost 51 minutes of battery life, which is great. And again, here's the thing: if you go to Canada and you go to Mexico because you want to buy it, and you're able to get across with this, and I don't even know how do they do it. Do they tariff you when you're crossing? But they're saying that even if you do, DJI won't honor its limited warranty if you do that. So,
I mean, that's just the nature of the political climate right now. That's just the way the world market is right now.
Okay, so is there a drone that could compete with DJI and be just as good on the market that is
from the U.S.?
Made in the U.S.? Yeah. I saw something a couple days ago, and I thought, okay, it was very clickbaity. You know, check out this new drone from the U.S. that rivals the DJI product. And of course, I didn't click through. I just looked. Okay, yeah, sure. DJI has been known for being one of the best. I'll tell you a funny story. The other day, my neighbor asked me to move my car because she's putting her house on the market, and she thought, the guy's going to come out and photograph it. Didn't want to have the car in the shot. So I said, yeah, no problem at all. So then I came here to work, and then I reached out to Gloria, and I said, hey, did that guy show up? And he goes, yeah, he's out there right now. And I said, don't tell me he's doing a drone. She goes, yeah, he's got a drone. So I said, go out there, take pictures. So she did. He had a little like landing pad that he put in the street, which I thought was cool. He must have his Part 107, which, you have to do if he's charging for it. But yeah, he put it was a Maverick 3, he put it in the air and got some great shots from what I understand.
A quick Google foo. It looks like there are some U.S. companies that have Skydio is one.
I think that's the one.
Brink drones. A lot of these are for like firefighting, agricultural stuff. So really not much for outside of what DJI offers.
Right. I have seen one that Customs and Border Protection used that was huge. It wasn't DJI. It's enormous. It was seriously, it was about the size of a cabin of a vehicle, from front to back. And it had these weird slots on the top of them. And when I asked the agent, I said, well, what is that for? He said, batteries. Just keep popping the batteries in so they can have, they had probably a spot for about 15 batteries that they could put in there and get longer flight time.
A lot of space to cover along the border.
Yeah, but they were huge. So anyway, if you want to get more info about it, you go to DJI's website and find out. Now, it doesn't mean
not on their website.
It's not even on their website yet?
You can't. It's not even on their website right now. I cannot. I was looking for it because you mentioned it was open.
Right.
There's PC Mag has an article. But it is not on their website. And
they might be blocked because of your geolocation.
But they're if you Google it, you can get to a website. You get to the website, the links, and it came to a 404 page. So I don't see it on their website at all right now.
I would want to test VPN, do a VPN into Canada, and then see if it comes up. I kind of wonder if that would be.
Yeah, right now here's a Google Mavic 4 specs. I go to it, 404 page not found.
Right, unless people are crashing it because they want to order it. Maybe that's it. All right, we got a listener question in from Rick in Sahuarita. I thought we'd try go ahead and cover one of these. It says, "Hey all, Justin and Matt and Slick are out, but hey all, love listening to your show, and I've been thinking I really want to learn more about the basics of technology. So I told my friend about this, and he said, just watch YouTube videos. Wouldn't it be better to take a class? Your thoughts?" From Rick in Sahuarita.
You need to narrow the scope a little.
When you say technology,
there's a lot of technology out there. What you need to kind of pick a focus. What niche part of technology do you want to get into? Cameras, drones, computers, cars, cameras.
That's true.
Video games, solar panels, batteries.
Wow. Putting them together. Does he maybe want to put them together?
Does he want to get into technology? Because there's a ton of technology in HVAC.
Right.
You want to go program your furnace, or it's technology is such a broad term.
Right.
But YouTube is not a bad place to start.
No, actually,
Khan Academy, Udemy, those types of places too, where you can actually, if you're more of a book learner, like you want to read articles and take tests and stuff like that instead of just watching somebody else explain it to you, Udemy, Khan Academy, there's a couple other websites and stuff you can go to too.
Do you remember what we had? We had YouTube really wasn't around when I got started.
Encyclopedia Britannica?
No, the dummies books. Those
are still out there too.
DOS for Dummies, Windows for Dummies, computers for Dummies. I think. Did you ever see Fast Times at Ridgemont High?
Long time ago.
Okay, so here's a story. A lot of people don't know this, but in the movie Fast Times at Ridgemont High, you might remember the guy who worked in the movie theater that liked Stacy, and he was kind of a nerdy character. He is the guy, Andy Rathbone, that wrote the Dummies, a couple of the Dummies books, But Andy was the inspiration for that character because he went to that school and talked with the writer of that film, the director of that film, and that's where he became the inspiration for Mark Ratner, that character. And I always thought that was kind of funny. That's based on the guy.
That's like something you'd read on the IMDb trivia.
Yeah, I've always known it. We've had Andy Rathbone on this show before years ago, but yeah, and it was always fun to kind of bring that up. Yeah.
Yeah, so I would tell Rick, like, find it, if you're interested in technology, find something that piques your interest. Like, oh, I want to learn more about how to play with a Stream Deck and how to integrate it into my computer, or I want to repair my old Xbox, or, things like that. It's like there are tons of great guides for pretty much anything you can think about.
All right, here's one I was thinking. And tell me what you think about this one, Shawn. I got into it by one day, getting a computer and tearing it apart and then putting it back together. And then that was with the Apple. And then I ended up moving towards the 286 and then the 386. This is kind of funny too. I rented a 386, an old laser computer from Rent-A-Center when they used to rent PCs. And I rented this thing and I would take it apart and I would okay, this is how it works. This is memory. This is, I would learn all the basic aspects of it. I don't know. What do you think? The idea, depending on your budget, is maybe Rick's idea. And if this, anybody else that's thinking about doing this, is the thought maybe build your own system. And
if you're interested in computers, if you're interested in doing computer stuff, go to watch a couple of YouTube videos on people that are doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Budget out what you want. Go to PC Part Picker, put your budget in there, and buy some pieces and components. And it doesn't have to be a blazing fast computer. Doesn't even have to have a dedicated graphics card. Get the motherboard, get the processor, get the RAM, get the case, slap it all together, put the power supply in there, plug things in, and then push the power button and it doesn't turn on because you forgot to turn the power supply switch on. Don't know that from personal experience. But yeah, so it's technology is as much as you put into it is what you're going to get out of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like Andy said, he started with Mac computers and taking computers apart. My journey with technology started with actually working on cars and dirt bikes with my dad, fixing cars, technology. Right. It's all technology. It's just analog. It's just different mechanical technology. Then I got into photography and started taking cameras apart. Mm-hmm. And then I got into digital video. I did some offset press printing in high school. And then when I got into college, then I really kind of got into the computer side of things where I had to start editing on computers and doing that kind of stuff, and didn't really even build my own computer until 2010.
Oh, wow.
That's when I first really that's when I bought and purchased my own computer, my own parts, and built my own computer. Right. Now, my mom was super into computers, and I helped her put the computers together and stuff. And, we had a bunch of, I learned how to do DOS and that kind of stuff. And I had friends that were super into computers in high school, but I never built my own.
Right.
Now it's, that's kind of,
I kind of miss, I don't know about you. I kind of miss the DOS days. I miss the commands. I miss, the DOS stuff. And then, Microsoft we'll have our OS do it for you. And
yeah, there's something to be said about being able to understand how the computer thinks. Okay. How do I change the directory? How do I load from the A drive? How do I load it to RAM? And how do I load it? There's a fundamental understanding of how that works.
Right.
That you don't get now because it's just the computer's doing it.
Absolutely.
The background. The operating system's doing it. But yeah,
right.
If you really want to deep dive into how computers work and you really want to go crazy and work in that kind of an environment, put Linux on it.
There you go. Yeah, maybe you already understand Windows, and that Linux would be a whole, and that's actually rather satisfying when you do a Linux. And like you said, maybe build a computer system and then install Linux instead of Windows and see where you can go with it.
Take an older laptop, something that's maybe got an older i5 or an older AMD processor in it that you're like, oh, this computer's so slow. Put Linux on it.
Yeah.
And tell me how it runs.
Yeah, and then figure out which
you can revive so many older systems. You can revive so many older systems
Yep.
with Linux.
Yeah, that's so true.
Because they don't have there. I mean, there's obviously minimum restrictions for like the GUI, the web, the GUIs and stuff like that. But Linux is very low weight in terms of resource management.
All right, we got to take another break. We come back. I was able to make a decision when it comes to software and upgrading what is going to be the way to go. And it's all because I took a look at one of the products that they offer. So I'll tell you more about that when we come back. I'm Andy Taylor.
I'm Shawn DeWeerd. Find us on Facebook at facebook.com, Tech Talkers.
We'll be right back.
Now, back to Tech Talk Radio.
Welcome back to Tech Talk Radio. If you have a question for the show, you can get it to us anytime just by emailing us, techguys, TechGuys, at techtalkradio.com. We may use it on the show. I want to remind you, too, to follow us on YouTube. Subscribe to our channel there. You can check out all the videos we have from our TV segments to extra videos we do kind of covering the products that we've taken a look at. And again, that's Tech Talk Radio up on YouTube. You can find us there. And speaking of questions for the show, Shawn, you've got one.
I know this one is in Arizona, and it's not. I'm not. I know this Tucson.
Oh yeah,
is in
not going to get you caught this time, right?
Not going to get me caught this time. This one is from Laura in Tucson.
All right.
I'm not always near a computer, and sometimes I will see a story on my phone that I want to copy the text.
Oh.
Is there a simple way to do that if I take a picture of the text?
Oh, okay.
Most newer phones, I can do this with my iPhone 13.
Mm-hmm.
If I take a picture of text, or if I take a screenshot, in my photo library, I could just highlight the text like I would on my keyboard and copy it.
Yeah, no. If you use Google Photos, photos.google.com, whether you have an iPhone or an Android device, I have my Pixel 9. I can just go into Google Photos, look at that photo that maybe I've taken, whether it be a picture off a story in the newspaper or screen capture. Maybe I've done that with screen caps before. And using the Google Lens feature, I can highlight the text and then copy it to WordPad or Notepad or Word or whatever. I
screenshot tons of stuff on my phone
all the time. Here,
articles, web links. Oh, that's a cool picture, or that's a cool thing I want to remember, or I need to remember how to do that 2 days from now, or I just screenshot it. It's the top button and the right, the top left button and the right button on my click screenshot.
Yeah, Gloria,
I can crop it, I can edit it, I can highlight it. So on my iPhone, I know that Android or Google Pixel, very similar process to do. And if you just want to copy it, you should just be able to, on any web page on your phone, just press and hold, highlight the text within the article itself, copy the text into a note, into an email, into a text message.
Yeah,
you should be able to
Gloria
do that natively on your phone.
Did that the other day. She saw a recipe online, so she was able to screen cap it. Then she said, "Can you print this for me?" And I said, "Oh, what are you going to do with it?" She says, "Well, I want to, put it in my thing of recipes." And I said, "Well, why don't we do this?" So I showed her basically copying the text and all that. And she said, "Yeah, I'm not going to do that." She said it's too much work.
Also, you think about, so if you want to revisit it later, if you're on a web link, just sync your bookmarks between your mobile and your Chrome. If you have Chrome,
right,
you can sync bookmarks between mobile and desktop.
Yeah.
My Mac does it all the time. If I'm sitting at my desktop,
right,
and I have my phone open and I'm browsing, it'll pop up an icon and I can just click on it on my Mac and it'll pop up that into my Mac.
A lot of people don't know about that. That's
good.
So
it's very easy to save a bookmark on your phone, and then if your bookmarks are synced, go to your computer and then you continue off where you left off. So.
All right, so there's a story that has been out there about, ARS Technica actually did the story, and I read it, and it just made me shake my head. It was something that I think we're going to see more and more of. The new owners of VPN provider VPN Secure have been canceling lifetime subscriptions. So, you sign up with the service, you pay X amount of dollars, and you've got a lifetime subscription. The owners apparently told customers they didn't even know about the lifetime subscriptions when they bought the company, and that there's no way that they can honor those purchases. And I don't know, at some point we could see attorney generals, we could see lawsuits being filed because when somebody buys something in perpetuity or they buy a lifetime license, that is what they should get, right?
In a world driven by software as a service, you are going to see this so much more.
Yeah.
I get it from a bottom line standpoint. If I have Plex, I bought like a Plex Pass, right? This is another good example. Like, Plex Pass did this where they're like, "Hey, FYI, we're raising our price on our lifetime subscription to Plex Pass.
You've already paid for it.
If you don't buy it before this date, it's going to go up by a significant amount of money." And so a lot of people bought it, or I bought mine like 8 years ago.
Oh, wow.
And it's been fantastic, right? But if Plex ever decided to just nuke my lifetime subscription, I would just go to something else. Like I would refuse to go back to Plex after that. Claiming to not know they existed, that's just shoddy business management. But you saw stuff like this with Broadcom taking over VMware.
Oh, that's right. That just happened recently, too.
Where Broadcom came in and said, "We bought VMware. We're raising the price by 3,000%. Mm-hmm. And companies were like, what do you mean? Well, yeah, if you want to keep your product past your current contract, you're going to have to pony up 3,000% more money. And people lost their minds because you don't think how much content lives on virtual machines in the cloud. It's a lot.
Well, especially now where we're seeing Windows 11 coming around for the consumer or even business user. Windows 11 coming around, it could cause computers that needed to be reinstalled. Maybe they can't update a computer, so they have to reinstall software. Suddenly their software won't install because, they've taken down activation servers. We saw that with Adobe. It's what I've been going through. I use the Adobe Master Suite 5, which has been phenomenal. I got it back in 2012, and I love it. Photoshop, Adobe Edition, Premiere Pro, and I've mastered how to use it, After Effects, and it's been great. But now, going to Windows 11, I wanted to install it on the new 11 system I bought, and it won't let me install it because their registration servers are not accepting any more registrations because they want everybody's software and services. And I'll tell you, Shawn, I was really upset about it. And I started thinking, okay, I'm going to have to look for other means. I do know that Adobe right now is doing their Creative Cloud licenses at a reduced price. So basically, if you want everything in their software pool, it will cost you about $50 a month, maybe $59 a month. And I was ready to say, forget it. I started learning a different audio program, Reaper, which was recommended by Matt. And I've kind of mastered that one. But I've got to pay for a license. It's $65. And then I noticed my mixer that I have, the Mackie, has a free license for Pro Tools. So I went ahead and installed Pro Tools. And it took me about a week, but I've learned how to use it to do what I need to do for work. And I was ready to just say, okay, that's what I'm going to end up doing. I have the Master Suite on one system that I will just keep using even when everything goes Windows 11 and, on Windows 10. But then I found Firefly from Adobe. And that has changed almost everything in the way I'm thinking. It is worth it. When you look at, and Firefly is separate, but you get the Creative Cloud, you're going to master all of the cool new tools that are a part of Premiere Pro, all the cool tools that are part of the new Photoshop, Audition, Dreamweaver, if you use that. So many different parts of this, but you've got Generative Fill for Photoshop, Generative Extend for Premiere. And now with Firefly, you could create images from text that you could drop into videos. I need an angry sun, and then boom, it pops up an angry sun. Or I need one of the things they had on their gallery, a hippopotamus that is wearing a watermelon that is in the water. It's a video, and it's pretty amazing stuff. It's AI, of course. They're doing it separately outside of the Adobe Creative Cloud. So when you pay for your credit, you get credits. You'll pay $9.99 a month, and you'll get, I believe it's 2,000 credits. You could pay more, or you can pay all the way up to $200 a month, depending on how you're going to be using this. Like I can imagine that, graphics design shops, film houses, they're all going to be, probably delving into Firefly a little more. But that's what kind of changed my mind, and made me realize that, yes, I've been using the Creative Suite for almost 10 years, but I have lost the innovation that the company has done with some of the changes they've made with version 6 and now with the Creative Cloud. So it looks like I'm probably going to have to bite a little of a little of that and go with the next version of Creative Cloud. So I think that's the way I'm going. But if you get a chance, take a look at Firefly. Just go to adobe.com. I believe you can set up a free account if you don't have one already, and then it'll let you generate 2 of them, and it might be pretty amazing for you to see. All right?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't used, I don't know, I haven't used a whole lot of the Adobe Suite outside of Lightroom and Photoshop.
Right.
Premiere for some basic editing. I mostly use Final Cut Pro.
Yeah.
For my video editing, or DaVinci Resolve for color grading. So I don't have a need for it to pay the license. I also with my EDU with the Notre Dame.
Oh, that's
Notre
right.
Dame, I get access to the suite through the university.
Yeah.
So I originally was paying for the photography bundle, which was like $28 a month, I think, which came with Photoshop, Lightroom Classic, and like a couple gigs of storage on the cloud. But yeah, I don't have experience with the Firefly AI generative stuff. I took part in the ChatGPT pilot with the university, and I still use ChatGPT on almost a daily basis at work, doing basic things. Like what I use it for primarily is searching manuals.
Right.
Like, hey, I have this specific closed captioning encoder, and I need to see the 708 captions as open captions.
Right, right.
Boom, here it is. Here's the manual. Here's what you need. I don't have to go find the manual. It finds the page right. It's great. That's what I use it for.
Very good.
I use it for troubleshooting, time saving,
right,
and things like that. But
all right. Well, listen, we got to take another quick break. We come back with more of Tech Talk Radio. If you get a chance, check that one out, though, adobe.com. I'm Andy Taylor.
I'm Shawn DeWeird. Follow us on X at Tech Talk Radio.
And now, back to Tech Talk Radio.
So everybody knows that I love flashlights.
Yep.
I every day carry a flashlight, a Sofrin EC3 Pro, and I decided to make Max his first flashlight.
Now, how old is Max?
3.
Okay, good.
Everybody that was born in the 80s had this flashlight growing up.
Playskool. Look at that.
It is the Playskool tricolor flashlight.
All right.
Now this is the special translucent one. I had this. This is not the one I had growing up. That one is long gone. They have multiple solid colored versions, but it came with a measly, I don't even remember what wattage the light bulb was.
Right.
So I said, you know what? I'm going to put an LED in there.
An LED.
So I gutted it.
Right.
And I took I don't even remember what the battery size is. It's the 1680 45, whatever the battery size
right.
is. Took the battery holder out, which was two D cells or 2 C cell batteries.
Yeah.
So just over 3 volts of power. Those batteries put out 3.7 volts. I got a 3.7 volt 10 watt LED. Wired it all in to the switch, and bingo, bright.
That's brighter than that light has ever been, right?
It's brighter than it has ever been. It's still got the color. I can still do green. I can still do red. It's awesome. I'll even turn out the lights for you guys.
Okay,
so you can
let's see on the video.
And in the video, it's bright. It lights
wow.
up my room, and it's cool.
Now, did you find step-by-steps online, or you just said, I can do this?
I just hackintoshed it myself.
That is pretty cool.
I found some people that had done it with just dropping in like a flashlight,
right?
Like coring out the middle. But yeah, I just kind of went on my own, and it's also rechargeable USB-C.
You actually built that as a part of it? That is pretty amazing. That is
so
cool.
I can plug it. I mean, this battery, I'm probably gonna have to charge it once before it gets destroyed by Max. I mean, it's
yeah.
But yeah, so it's
We'll put video up on the website too. You sent me some
Green,
really cool
red.
video on that, and you could change the colors, the whole bit.
yeah,
There you go.
So it's using the existing switch. I added some wiring to it because some of it was broken when I got it because I bought it at a yard sale for $2. But so this was
All
a
right.
fun project for me to do, and
Check it out, blog.techtalkradio.com. That wraps up this week's Tech Talk Radio. I'm Andy Taylor.
I'm Shawn DeWeerd, and this is my ghost story.
That's kind of scary. Yeah.